3, 2, 1.
Oh, that was much better.
Crisp.
It was better than the first one.
Let's put that into the podcast. I feel like that's a good introduction. You know, I think.
Oh, just the clapping.
Just the claps.
Oh, hang on, I gotta clear my throat. Let me get a sip of water real quick before. Alright. Welcome to the Team Reinvented Gaming podcast, baby. This is episode 1. The number that comes before 2. I am your host, Aryllith. I am an ambassador for Team Reinvented. I be streaming games. I am also joined by the man, the myth, the legend, the CEO and inventor of Team Reinvented Gaming, Dorian Jones. Say hello, Dorian.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm also joined by NASA videographer Alex. He also works for Team Reinvented. He edits some of the promos, some of the sick promos you see, some of the sick and clean ones. Say hello, Alex.
Hello. Hi.
That was such a delayed response. I was like, say hello, Alex. And he's like,
I don't know what to do. I'm nervous. I'm the dude that's always behind the cameras and stuff like that. It's you're putting a spotlight on me. I'm scared, dude.
Yeah, you're rocking. You did all those videos and stuff. Oh wait, no, you acted and stuff in high school too. That's the one because you were in that one thing that you had to dub our friend's voice over because you couldn't record the audio. Okay.
So Dorian,
I'm never gonna let go of that.
Dorian, what happened was it was one of my first videos that I was like editing, and I was like, okay, I gotta get a ton of people saying this like similar line, kind of like the Team Reinvented video that we had for our promotion to crowdfund, but like I just had to get a ton of high schoolers to do it, and then I accidentally didn't record like the audio on one of the dudes. So I thought it'd be super easy if I just like went in and like lip dubbed him. But I was also in the video, so it sounded exactly like me. And anyone who knows the dude like saw the video and just saw like his lip. It was so bad. It was just like it was like
one of those kung fu movies that like it just got translated to English, but like are just so far off.
Exactly. Yeah, and I like voice dubbed. I lowered the pitch of mine, thinking that I could like make it so it didn't sound like me, but it just sounded like me in like a very like deep low voice. And this dude has like I guess a higher voice or like kind of like so it just didn't fit his like character at all. And it just I just remember watching that and oh my gosh, the looks that I got
like
from
the
some
worst
people.
person too, because Callan has like the softest voice and like Alex recorded his like I'm a leader, and it's like that. That's like not at all how it was stupid funny.
But hey, here we are. I mean, all that experience leads you to Dorian Jones as the Team Reinvented videographer. So, if you need any lip dubbing, I got you.
I'm great. I'm glad to be here. It's episode 1. Podcasts are. I think people take podcasts for granted. You have YouTube, you have Twitch, the social media platforms, but podcasts are one of those platforms that are underutilized in my opinion. So figured we start one and just see where it goes from there. And I'm grateful to have a variety of people who could be guests and who have a lot of information and wisdom to offer. So I'm glad to be here and everything.
I think that's like one of the cool things too, that you're like doing all this and like the biggest thing with like organizations and people starting out is that there's like a facade, like a closed curtain, to a lot of organizations. Like there's that background thing, but you're like one of those dudes that's just like, okay, I'm gonna promote everything, and everything that I'm doing, every decision that I make, I want to like make this public so that people can like see like how this is being done, how this organization is being made. So just the fact of like having like a podcast like to show the world, to like be like, okay, this is what's happening inside my mind. Like you're gonna look at this like a year or two from now and be like, oh my gosh, like this is what I was thinking when we were indie back in the day, and now we're here or something like that. So it's super cool to be a part of something that like you're super open about everything, which is really neat.
Thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting when for the people listening, we have the Road to Pro League series on YouTube as well that I do, that push out, semi-weekly, bi-weekly. And that, we did 10 or 9 episodes of that so far. So, looking back at episode 100 in a year or two, just to see how far we've come, it just be good to look back and be like, wow, this is what it took to get where we're here now. So, and everything.
It's crazy. I mean, just like the dedication of like doing that, like it's obviously one of those things where it's like, man, it's tough to do like the first thing, or it's tough to do episode 5 of it and be in the same position. But like, man, once you get to episode 100, it's gonna be like, wait, time is flying. It's flown so fast.
Yeah. I think part of my mentality was just to keep moving forward. Because so the backstory about Team Reinvented Gaming, right? So for me, I'm the CEO of Team Reinvented Gaming, but I'm also currently in the United States Marine Corps. And I get out of the Marine Corps in about 3 weeks, and I go back to America to do my out processing, and then I'll be running the org full time. But I started Team Reinvented Gaming in March of this year, March 2020. And it pretty much came down to I just went overseas again, moved somewhere else, and I had nobody to play games with because I didn't know anybody online in my region. So I was like, well, I'm just going to create a Discord server. I'm going to call it Team Reinvented Gaming because I think that sounds cool. And see where it goes from there. And I invited one guy, and then he invited people, and then people, and the whole chain reaction thing happened and all that. So
Dorian, I have a question.
Now we're here. What's up?
Do you have any like Marine buds over there that like also play video games? Like, is like video game culture in like the Marine Corps? Like, is that a thing?
Yeah.
Like
in the military, man?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, because we need something to de-stress ourselves after our days of work sometimes, man, because we be going from 0 to 100. We do a lot of fast tempo stuff, and it's not like high speed, right? All of it, but it's like we're stressed out a lot during our day just because we do so much sometimes within a short period of time. But yeah, a lot of people in the military play video games a lot, and I think that's a great thing. It's a healthy way to de-stress, and it's just good. If people like doing it, just keep doing it more. So
because that's like one of the things like I know me and Aryllith can attest to this, but like we're both in college right now, and most of our days like doing math problems, or like I'm a chemistry major, so I like do like a ton of chemistry and like do crazy stuff, but it's like it's like such a different experience when you like go home and jump into a world of like video games where either you're playing like Rainbow Six Siege or something like that, and you have these different types of ways that your brain can think. But to me, for some reason, like I always thought like, man, people are in the military, and like, do people in the military even find like enjoyment from like playing like first person shooters when like their life is like focusing on keeping our country safe, and like possibly running through different scenarios where you might have these same scenarios in video games? Like, do you find the same enjoyment from like Rainbow Six Siege when you think that like training for the Marine Corps might be that like same process?
Yes, because you can take what you learn and apply it to a video game. Because like in Rainbow Six Siege, right, you got clear corners, you got to like drone. There's a lot of discipline in Rainbow Six Siege, and that same discipline we learned in the military. And it's very frustrating for somebody like me, and other people could probably attest to this, but like when you think of the game strategically, and people don't, they still see it as a game. But when I play Rainbow Six Siege or a first-person shooter, I think of it as like a strategy and a challenge or a mission to accomplish. And I don't want to over-exaggerate it, right? It's not like I go into like Marine Corps mode and it's like, oh my gosh, but it's like you just think about it differently. But you do enjoy it, and it's fun. At the end of the day, it's a video game, and it's just fun to play.
It's crazy how like much Siege has changed. I mean, I guess it's always like that, but like now it's more like a strategy game than a shooter at this point, or it's just like you're working to get like 5 steps ahead of your enemy.
But that's how it is in real life. I mean, in real life, and like before like special operations do a mission, they plan. There's so much that goes behind the scenes in an operation than just going through that door and shooting somebody. So you got to have intel, you got to have comms, you have to have corroborating evidence. There's so much planning behind the scenes, and that's why I like Siege as a first-person shooter, even though it is buggy sometimes. But also are all video games. But it's like you actually have to think, and I think that's a great thing, because then that's what separates people who don't think from the people who do think, and there's a gap. Obviously, you get people on your team who just think it's just point and shoot all the time, right? Or they point and shoot and it works one time. And they're like, wow, this is how the game should be played. When in reality, you should be doing the fundamentals. But, Siege has a lot of different opinions and different play styles. Like, there's no one way to play, I suppose. I just play it with the fundamentals, and I think that works for me.
Yeah,
and
for
everything,
sure.
So,
Dorian, do you just ever load into a game and then somebody's raging at you or something like that, and then you're just like, well, I'm a fucking Marine? Or
that's cringy. No, I don't do that. No, I don't tell people that. I don't tell people I'm a Marine.
He uses it as authority over video games. It's don't worry guys, I know what I'm doing, I'm a Marine.
I feel like that would be a flex. I don't know, something that let's say you're top fragging on a thing, and they're just like, holy shit, this guy's popping off, and I'm just like, yeah, I learned that in my Marine Corps training. I feel like that'd be just
I can tell you haven't played Siege, because if someone said it, they probably just respond with shut up.
All right.
Yeah, that's I don't care.
It's true.
Or they'd be something dumb. But yeah, video games, the esports industry is crazy right now. Especially since COVID-19 happened. So crazy thing, right? So when COVID started popping off really big in February, March time frame, right? You know how a lot of stocks dropped and everything? American Airlines and all these traveling companies and stocks dropped. Video games, the esports ETF, which has has 10 of some of the biggest names in esports, Activision, Nvidia, etc., that still kept making money and kept rising. So that showed you. And plus, to play video games, you don't have to be next to somebody. Obviously, LAN events are cool and they have the purpose, but the esports industry just kept booming and everything. So I'm kind of glad I started Team Reinvented Gaming the time I did, because there was a need for it. There's a demand for it to some degree.
It's funny because last semester I took public speaking, and my final speech, I believe, was about how esports organizations are super popular and how they generate a lot of attention and revenue and stuff. And then 2 months later, I'm applying to join an esports organization. I was like, oh, that's the way life works, I guess.
Yeah, but organizations. Organization's a strong word, because you wouldn't be surprised how many. Well, I get hit up by 13 and 14-year-olds all the time asking to join the teams or try out or whatever, and I'm grateful, but I'm like, you can't be 18, and I think that's because when people, I guess people think of esports orgs or teams as clans still. They think of it as people just queuing up and playing the game, which some are like that, and that's completely fine. But a very small percentage of actual organizations are legit businesses, right? They're either LLCs or sole proprietorships or something like that, right? Team Reinvented Gaming is an LLC, a limited liability company. It's an actual business. And very few percentage of orgs are like that. Obviously, all pro league organizations are legitimate, but I think that's what helps us stand out and everything. The fact that I'm not treating it as, hey, just get some people and play video games. Obviously, that there is that section to it, the hobby and the casual play to it. But at the end of the day, this is a business, and this is it's a professional organization. And at the end of the day, so.
Yeah, which is a big reason on why, because Alex told me, for people that don't know, Alex got recruited to do video editing and stuff, and then he was telling me about there's this the Team Reinvented Gaming has picked me up to edit some videos and stuff, and Alex was telling me about it and how serious you were about it, and I was like, oh, if he's serious about it, then I'll go check it out, because it was something I was always interested in it. And then I saw the amount of effort and stuff you're putting in, and I was like, oh, this guy he's really set on this. He's not just gonna abandon it. So that's why I applied, because it's I feel safe knowing that Dorian is running it, because he always gives it 110%.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that. I always wondered, man, I do be in this Discord by myself sometimes and be like, dang, how do I get these people to like come here? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I'm just grateful. I really am, because like, it's not given. You know what I'm saying? It's not given. It's not a right. It's a privilege for you guys to be here. And I tell you this all the time. I'm just grateful to have you guys.
Yeah,
but
I'm grateful to be here.
So, but yeah, what was I talking about? Team Reinvented Gaming, right? So started in March. And do you know why it's called Team Reinvented Gaming?
I do not personally.
Alex, do you have an idea why?
Okay, well, my guess is that you're thinking like, man, you know those like cool you know where like each letter stands for something? Yeah, what are those called? I forgot what those are called, but like, you know, I bet Team Reinvented Gaming has each letter stands for a word, and I bet you have this like crazy meaning behind Team Reinvented Gaming that like lines up with every letter in the title. That's my guess.
Every letter in the words Team Reinvented Gaming stands for something?
Yes. So like T stands for team. E,
everybody. E stands for everybody.
Team everybody. And then A. So team everybody, and then let's say like A is like aims, because you know like video games.
We're not
like
doing this.
No.
I can't sit here listen to Alex make up words for every letter.
No. Good guess, but I'm not that smart. So no. It does not mean that. But what it means, I chose Team Reinvented Gaming because I wanted to, pun incoming, reinvent esports, right? But I wanted to do something different with the org, and I wanted to set the standard in the industry. And team is there because we're a team. It's not me. Like, obviously, I'm CEO, I own the org, but without you guys, there would be no org. Without you guys, there would be no podcast, you know? So it's not just me. So if the org succeeds, it's because everybody contributed, no matter what you do for the org. So that's why it's called Team Reinvented Gaming. Obviously, the gaming is in there because it's a gaming org, so you can have the word gaming. But that's what it means. And our logo is a light bulb with like a gear or a cog. And when I got that made, I told this graphic designer, I was like, hey, this is the name of my organization. This is what it means. It means to be different, think outside the box, and just set the standard and just reinvent the wheel, not the wheel, but reinvent like the industry, right? So he was like, cool. I told him what colors I wanted. I was like, I wanted green and black because I think that's a cool color combination. And he just came up with this like light bulb cog thing. It was like perfect. And I was like, this is dope. So that's what logo came from, the name. So
I do have a question, but you can cut it out if the answer is no. We have the rights to Team, or you have the rights to Team Reinvented Gaming, right? Like as a brand.
Yes, I own the trademark.
Okay, good. Name. Yeah, you hear that, other people? If you feel like starting the esports company or LLC under Team Reinvented Gaming, pack it up and go home. We already got it.
Yeah, you can't. And also, there is, so when I was doing the trademark paperwork, right, there's a gaming community or blog or forum, something along those lines, called Gaming Reinvented. So I saw that, and I was like, shoot, I might get trademarks possibly, but I didn't, because obviously it's legitimate.
Well, now we know who we're going to sue first.
Yeah, so any combination of Team Reinvented Gaming, you probably won't get away with that because they already exist, all of them. But and our logo is reinventing esports one win at a time. So that's pretty cool as well.
Wait, that's kind of a slogan or motto?
That's our motto. Slogan, okay. Same thing, right? Reinventing esports one win at a time, because it's just about getting that one win and then getting the next win, because all these wins will add up to us, eventually winning a championship and, becoming successful. And that's kind of our method or our thought process going into our recruiting and our teams. But I'm not going to dive down to our tactics of how we win our games right now.
Oh, yeah. Our secret recipe and how we secure the bag.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's where that stuff came from and everything. So
Dorian,
but I guess what's up?
Dorian, do you like coffee or tea?
It depends how I'm feeling. It depends if I'm. It's an open-ended question.
I mean, it's not really an open-ended question. I mean, it's like, just do you like coffee or tea?
Oh, it's not. It depends. I like both. That's my answer.
Final answer?
Yeah, I like both.
I don't know. It's kind of. I feel like there's coffee people and there's tea people. I haven't really seen, Transformers out here.
So like, so you mean like if I'm like on a desert, right? And there's like coffee, a cup of coffee, and a cup of tea. Which one am I going to drink if I had to choose one?
I mean, if you're randomly in a desert, sure, but like also you could be in your kitchen in the morning, like that. That always that works too.
All right, if I'm in my kitchen, I go with coffee. Coffee. Right, that's my answer. Coffee.
That's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid. What about you, Aryllith? What are you thinking?
I like both. Honestly, I mean, I drink coffee more often, obviously, but a good chai tea or even like a jasmine tea, delicious.
I'm just saying, chamomile tea, like before bed, like that shit slaps, like just solid. You're just like sitting there, like obviously like warm milk comes in at like a solid number 2, but like a chamomile tea, like right at the end. I've just been starting to get into that kind of stuff, and man, I mean, obviously like, I don't know. I'm trying to get out of the weeds of caffeine and things like that. So I'm trying to take like decaf coffee, and tea. Is obviously, caffeinated sometimes. But I'm just saying, if you orient stuff towards your sleep and start drinking teas, around bedtime, just saying you get a nice perky 10 hours, and that feels great. It feels better than an epic victory royale right there.
Desert though.
In a desert. So why would you drink? I guess I don't know what's more hydrating in a desert, because I guess like there's not even like water anymore.
The tea because the coffee's diuretic, so it makes you use the bathroom a lot.
Oh, true.
Yeah, the desert. I just threw the desert in there because it was like I don't know, just nothing better to do.
Maybe that's why your intestines funky, Alex. Maybe you got a hernia because you keep drinking coffee, bud.
Exactly, dude. I mean, that's the basis of my health problems. For anyone who doesn't know, I currently have a hernia, which is fun at the ripe age of 20. And maybe it's from drinking too much coffee or tea. And you never know.
Maybe it's from the immense amount of stress that's on your shoulders on a day-to-day basis.
Dorian's been just giving me way too many tasks out here. It's been terrible work conditions, it's
no.
Don't slander.
That's
Dorian
gonna be cut
on his
out.
own podcast.
No, I'm joking.
Sweet. Nah, he's a good dude. He's a solid.
That's what you mentioned your age. I forgot to tell everybody how old I was, and also you Dom, Aryllith.
Oh yeah,
I'm 25.
Oh really?
Yeah. So I'm sorry, I'm not 20. I'm 24. I'll be 25 in December, but yeah, I'm a little bit older and everything, so
I thought you were 50.
That's interesting. No, that's interesting.
Holy shit, dude.
But yeah, I'm 24 and created an esports organization. So I'm not late, and I don't think that's a bad thing either, because at least I have some life experience a little bit, I guess. So I'm not like 18 creating a business. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's been people who've done that and have great success, but at least I am a little bit older, so I don't know.
I'd say you're at like the ideal age, because like you're older than like people who've just become adults, but you're still young enough that oh my god, hang on, I have to turn my mic off because there's a police car. Hold on a second.
No,
just leave it in. Should I just leave it in?
Yeah, it's over now.
Sorry guys, I'm getting swatted.
Damn.
You're at like sorry. You're at like the perfect age where you still know like our generation, or like mine and Alex's generation's like humor, and like you're not like the big businesses where they have a bunch of old white dudes sitting in a conference room trying to talk like 15-year-olds. Like you're in touch. You got it, baby.
I'm in touch. Han, so Dom, how old are you again?
I'm 19.
In 19? Holy crap.
Yeah.
Okay, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I forget that everybody's younger.
Yeah, why couldn't you just been born earlier, huh? Speed it up.
Dorian, do you feel any difference in yourself between the ages of like I'm 20, like in the 5 years, like 20 to 25, do you feel like a completely different person? Because for some reason,
Yes.
like for me, like just simply turning 18 to now I'm 20, like I feel like I changed a lot. But what about you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. When I joined the Marine Corps when I was 19, 5 years ago. And I guess the Marine Corps obviously had a hand in maturing me and giving me life experience. But yeah, you learn things, you have experiences. I used to get drunk a lot when I was like 22, but when I was 22, my tolerance of alcohol was like, I had all the tolerance. Like I would get drunk every weekend, and I went past that. I got past that party phase and everything, and you just mature. And also when it comes to like girls and everything, when you're like 20, 19, everything, you have girls who are 20 and 19, they're not mature. They just want to party and like, they post memes about boys all day and everything. But now I'm 24. I have to like actually look for a girl who's like 25, you know what I'm saying? Like 26, somebody who's like established, right? Because a 27-year-old female isn't going to want to date a guy my age who isn't like, established or like, you know what I'm saying? Who really doesn't have anything. So, but yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, you do change and you do mature, you do get different experiences, and you look back at your 20-year-old self and be like, what was I doing? Maybe. So yeah, because when I was 20, 25 was like, oh my God, he's old. But now I'm about to be 25. I'm like, I still feel young. My body does hurt a lot, but yeah. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good.
Yeah, because I find that the culture of college, at least, because me and Dom are in college, but I just simply going from like your freshman self, which are the people that are like 18, just being able to get freedom and go through experiences. I just feel like those experiences of you being young just like add up and just start making you mature and get older, like the slip ups that happen, the small learning lessons in life kind of thing.
The biggest change isn't even from like senior year of high school to freshman of college. It's from freshman to sophomore year of college.
Yeah, I felt that too.
It's like as soon as because I was in dorms freshman year, now I'm like in my own apartment this year, and it's like, wow, I've done like a complete 180 of last year, huh?
It's crazy like what you... I don't know. I just never thought that would be like the case. I always thought that like the transition from high school to college, or high school to, if you're not in college, to like, your first job, or, going overseas or anything like that. Like, I always thought that would be like the moment where things like clicked. But that kind of teenage fallacy that's in your head, that's like, man, I'm gonna turn into an adult when I'm 18, like that doesn't really happen. Like it really happens like when you turn 19 or when you turn 20. And I probably will graduate college or whatever in a couple of years and be like, man, when I was 20 I was so stupid. But like, I don't know, it's crazy to like think about that and like to see how much people change. And I bet even I bet that happens in the military a lot too, because of all the experiences you guys are going through as well.
Yeah, I would say it happens quicker.
Yeah.
Because, like, we get exposed. When, you go to boot camp, no matter what branch you are, right? We can argue with the Air Force and Navy and Army and be like, our boot camp's harder. But, each boot camp does its job. And just going through that at 19, there's like, oh my gosh, like, this is no joke. These are adults. I have to listen to them. They have no control over my life. It's like, this is reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just learn, everything happens faster. Like that natural cycle of maturing and getting life experience and getting discipline and intellect just happens faster, I think, in the military, just through some of the situations and realities we're faced with. But you know what's crazy, actually? So my sister, right? She graduated high school this year in 2020. Do you know how, like, because COVID happened, right? A lot of graduations didn't have, not graduations, a lot of classes didn't have a graduation. That's crazy. Can you imagine going to high school and having a graduation? That's like traumatizing almost.
Oh yeah, and, my roommate, who's like he's a freshman in college this year. He was just like, yeah, senior year sucked. Like we didn't get graduation. It was just like we walked around the track at the high school in our like graduation clothes and went home.
Yeah, like that's not good, but at the same time, it really does help that class because, my sister's 19, 18 right now. When she's like 30, when she has kids, she'll literally say to them, be grateful you're having a graduation because I didn't have one. Yeah. And I think they got this reality check at such a young age, like, oh wow, the world isn't always like up to my standard or isn't like doesn't revolve around me type of thing, right? And that's very interesting for them. I was thinking about that, so I think that was a big maturing factor for some of the graduating class of this year, and we'll see. I think that would do them good as they go through life and everything.
Yeah, Alex, I was remembering how like people in your grade were complaining about how your senior year was bad because they were doing construction at the school, and then 2 years later, the seniors don't even get graduation.
I think I'm best off right now because or at least my grade, because what is it? We're juniors now. And, you know, we were able to have that freshman experience at college or whatever and have, you know, a full year of dorms and things like that. And people who are seniors right now are struggling to figure out how the job market's going to be like when they graduate. And people who graduated like, you know, last year, like I heard that was, you know, atrocious to try to find a job, especially in these COVID times, and especially when the stocks were going absolutely crazy. So I just feel like I'm in that peak spot right now where I'm like, okay, I can focus on my studies, kind of had the experiences that everybody is lacking right now, and then hopefully the world gets some progress in this in 2021, and we could, you know, start thinking about getting back on track, you know.
Do you think school's going to be online in 2021?
Oh boy, that's the real question. I mean, my institution right now is thinking, is being very cautious about things. So even like enrollment right now for next semester is planning for completely online classes in the spring semester. Which is rough to hear, which is kind of tough to hear, but I mean, we've learned a lot of things this fall. And, you know, even the culture of mask wearing, because like mask wearing everybody does now because, you know, obviously it was kind of a mandate, but I feel like that idea of wearing a mask in a public place, and especially if you're sick or something like that, I feel like that is gonna you know, affect a lot of 2021 and maybe the future to come. And it's interesting to think about that, to think about how life is going to be shifting in 2021, but also in the future years to come.
Yeah. It's interesting times we live in. Yeah. So great time for business, I guess. I don't know. We'll see. But I think the esports industry at least is going to be one of those industries that gets through COVID with relative ease, just due to the nature of how it's ran currently and everything. Yeah. So, yes, I'll be grateful. But that's gonna be, you know, obviously when I get out the Marine Corps, I'm not gonna be wanting to look for another job, right? I want to run the org full time. But when it comes to investors, like I'm thinking, like, okay, how is somebody gonna give me the money during this economy, right? And it's different, I guess, because I know investors, you know, they account for risk. So maybe it doesn't affect them. Maybe they're like, okay, well, I'm going to value this company the same way because even in a non-COVID environment, they would be risking their money anyway, right? So, but at the same time, I don't know how that's going to how that's going to affect all the investors and everything. So, I mean, I'll figure that out when I get back to the United States, but we shall see.
Yeah. Hopefully a bright future ahead. Hopefully it only goes up from here.
Yeah, it will. I'll make sure it will. It will. And everything.
So gaming. Alex and I have been playing a lot of Minecraft recently.
Yo, Minecraft slaps, bro. I'm just saying.
It's been I don't know why, but like I always go through these phases where it's like playing a ton of Minecraft and then I just stop, and then all of a sudden it's just like, yo, you want to start another Minecraft server, and we're just like playing a ton for like weeks.
Dorian, are you a crafter? Do you craft at all?
Do I craft? I played Minecraft on my Xbox like years ago because my little brother had it, and then my little brother had it. He was like 11, right? Oh no, he was like 7, and and he was playing it, and then I hopped on it because I got bored, and I built a mansion. I was like, yo, this is really, really fun, but then I never played it ever since. Yeah, it's fun though. It definitely is fun. It's not boring at all. It's not boring.
I find it's like one of those things that's like it equates to like a Zen garden in real life, where because you know how Zen gardens are, where it's like the pool of sand, and then you have like a little rake that you can kind of like, you know, rake around and do stuff to like fill the space, fill the time that you have, and just like be at ease. Like it's one of those things where like currently right now I'm going through a lot of stress and things like that, and a lot of school things, a lot of personal things, you know. But like, man, when you just just have a huge farm that I just like day in and day out of Minecraft days, I'm just like farming, and I'm just like, why does this like feel so good? And I just realized it's literally just like a Zen garden where you're inside, you're just doing menial tasks and making things look good, and it's one of those like de-stress. It's like one of those games where it's like, man, it's one of those only games where you're really like de-stressing or not really thinking about too much. I mean, there's all these games that everybody plays that are very, you know, intense and have like a high intensity threshold, you know, that you go through, and you're playing it for the excitement and doing it because it sounds like it's thrilling and fun and experience. But like Minecraft's one of those things where it's like the charm of it, the beauty of it, and the slowness of it makes it almost that better of a game. And I feel like it really fills a void for a lot of people.
It's really slow, but it also makes you forget like the passage of time. Like you look over and it's like, oh, 7 hours have passed. Like I started playing at like 8 p.m. and now it's like the next day. That's crazy.
You know what games, speaking of games, can we talk about Among Us and Phasmophobia and all that? Like, where did Among Us come from? Because I try to keep up in the industry, and it came out of nowhere. Like that. Well, I don't know.
The game came out like years ago, but I don't know why or who picked it up, like streaming wise. But all of a sudden, it just like blew up from streamers playing it all the time.
Yeah,
it's like
it's either my fault, but it's either like a streamer found it and played it, or Among Us contacted somebody. It was like, hey, promote our game. They promoted it, and and it just got traction.
Yeah,
and everything. And I think it's because a lot of games nowadays are kind of like the same thing-ish. You know, you have your battle royales, you have, you know, Fortnite, Warzone, and everything, Hyperscape, and you have your Rainbow Six Siege. What else is there? CS:GO, kind of. Maybe not so much in NA currently, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a different game. It was different than the rest, and it was simple. It was small. It's like 250 megabytes. So people are like, and it's free. Oh, not free. It's $5. So
it's free on phone, though.
Oh, free on phone, even better. So people are like, no, I'm just going to hop on it and play, and it just took off. So that's cool. Same thing with Phasmophobia.
It's crazy to me for like Among Us, at least, where can you imagine being like a little indie game developer, and you release a game and it's like, oh, a couple of people are playing it, that's good, and then like 2 years later, randomly, like everyone starts playing this game.
Yeah, millions of people literally like on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
So kudos for them, and we'll see how long I'm just interested to see how long it lasts. It'll probably keep lasting until something takes its place. But Phasmophobia came out, and boy, that game is interesting. It's scary. It actually scares me sometimes, man.
Oh, like the first time I played it, it was like my friends were just like, it's funny. I love local voice chat in games where like you can hear like their volume depends on how close you are to them. And I could just hear my friend on the other side of like a door inside the house just like screaming at the top of his lungs because he saw the ghost or whatever. It's funny. It's scary though too.
Yeah. So those games, I'm glad they came out because that was definitely a shift in the market that we needed. And I think that would give some other, like, you know, small developers the courage or the initiative to, you know, produce something new in the market, see what it takes, see how it goes.
Yeah, 2020 is like indie games have just like, I don't know what's happening, but 2020 is like, in my opinion, the indie games are just making the year for like video game wise and stuff. And I'm glad to finally see like non-AAA companies producing like actual fun content instead of just like the new Call of Duty is what's like on Twitch all the time.
Yeah. I think the key is creating a game and then getting somebody to promote your game, right? Because in the esports industry, everybody creates orgs, everybody creates games, right? But like, how do you get your game to the top of the list, right? That's the challenge, and that's what you have to figure out. And if you can figure that out, you win. Like, simple. If you can get Pokimane, who has 5 million subscribers on Twitch, to play your game one time on stream, you win. That's all it takes. Because that's like, she has 5 million subscribers, and I roughly like 35,000 people tune in on one time. That's literally like the size of Rhode Island. Like you win. I think that's the game right now. That's the, no pun intended. That's like the tactic. When it comes to games, just getting a streamer on YouTube or Twitch to play your game one time, show it to people, and get exposure. And then if you're halfway decent at making games and it's something unique, something fun, cheap, smallish, you know what I'm saying? Just if it hits all the checks in the box, you'll be good. I think that's what Among Us did, and Phasmophobia, and it paid off. So good for them.
And I can't really speak for Phasmophobia because I haven't really played it yet, but for Among Us, it really fits like a really good niche, and I think its success was like crafted like right from the beginning, because there's one board game that me and Dom love. It's called Secret Hitler, and if anyone knows what that's about, but it's kind of it hits the same kind of category, but in like a board game kind of sense. And it's kind of like Avalon or Mafia in that kind of sense, where you like divide the room and you have to, you know, figure out who's who and things like that. I think the fact that Among Us, or the way that Among Us like really flourished, especially through like Twitch and through that community, is that like there's no incentive to being good at the game. Like obviously, okay, there's pro Call of Duty players, there's pro, you know, League of Legends players, there's pro CSGO players that are streaming because they're so good and because they can do everything. They have really good reactions and things like that. But with Among Us, the types of people that you play with and the personality that comes out of it, and the just general entertainment aspect that comes through streaming on Twitch and being around people that are interesting in general, I think that allowed Among Us to really flourish on Twitch, because it wasn't about people being good at the game. It was about having interesting, you know, interactions, having random people say shit, having, you know, like mental breakdowns go on. I think that the fact that it was able to hit that box of being that psychological destroyer amongst friend groups, I think that new type of idea with Among Us specifically just brought it right to the forefront and into people's hands, which is great.
That's I didn't even think about that. That's very interesting. I totally agree.
I think sometime we got to play Secret Hitler. I'm just saying, like an org Secret Hitler kind of thing. Whether that be in person or like in like an emulator online or something like that. I mean, it's kind of like Among Us, but like
tabletop simulator.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I'm just saying.
Tabletop simulator.
That's the OG. I got to tell you, Dorian, I got when the producers or the creators of Secret Hitler started making this game, I got one of the first copies in their shipments out, and it was like I think it was like a GoFundMe or something like that. I got one of the first copies of it, and I have it in my living room right now. But like, man, I'm so proud of that shit. And it got banned from our high school because we kept yelling, we kept calling people Hitler and fascist. So we were in like classes and shit, and like I was like, yo, I would tell the teacher, I'd be like, yo, if we have a chill Friday or something like that where we're just working on stuff, I want to like bring this game so that we can play it, you know. And they're like, oh, what's it called? And I'll be like, oh, it's Secret Hitler. And then they'd be like, no, it's banned from this, like you can't, just because the Hitler name was on it. It's fun. It's fun. I mean, I understand like the harm that it could be done when we're yelling at people, calling people fascist and shit could do. But you know, there'd be like one class where they'd be like, okay, you can bring it in, and we like bring it in, and it would always be like, it would evolve to like shouting, because you know how like Among Us games are, where like people are trying to like, you know, convince people that they're not the imposter, but like it's the same way for Secret Hitler. So I eventually got it banned from our high school because we kept yelling so many, you know, fascist things at each other. And yeah, so that's that game.
Yeah, I'll be down to do like a org. I want to do org like game so bad. Like have all of us. We gotta do Among Us. Like all of us have to play Among Us at the same time.
True.
Like me, you, well, us, Slater, Blake, everybody, Tim, everybody has to play. That'd be fun. That'll be legit. And I'm always down for Secret Hitler. We played that a lot in Japan when I was in Japan. We played that like almost every weekend. It's fun.
It's just something like some masochist way in your brain that just wants you to like completely shred your friendship.
Your friends.
Like I just remember, I think me and Dom were playing, and there's like one point where like Dom was lying, and I was just like, I swear to God, I hate you so much, dude.
Well, it's fun being imposter too, but I also really like playing detective and like picking apart people's arguments because there's like holes or like what they said in the last round didn't match up with this round. It's like,
But like every time like you find a hole, people don't believe you. They're like, oh, like you have the perfect evidence to dispute somebody's claim, and nobody wants to listen to you. And it's like, oh my God, you guys are throwing the match so hard. Like, please quit the game. Just actually leave the call.
That's like that's an issue I run into a lot. Is like people just like don't believe you for random reasons, or I hate when people do like task watching and stuff too, where like they'll watch you do your tasks and like calculate the time. It's like, oh, he only stood at the download for 7 seconds instead of 9, and it's like, do you really not have anything better to do?
The thing is, the task visuals are off too. Yeah. So it's like, like, what are you doing? And then he kills you, and then nobody believes that stuff. Oh God, no, I'm having PTSD. Hold on, I can't think of it right now because I'm gonna like relapse into a game, into a Among Us game. But it is fun though. It's a fun game. Do you know a game I started playing a lot of? Hyperscape, the one that Ubisoft put out.
Yeah.
The Battle Royale. I like it. I mean, it's fast paced and like the player base is so little and everything, but it's fun. I hope it just picks up. I think it's fun.
I think because I remember it being like more popular when it launched, but I think the issue for it was the learning curve is kind of steep for it, so I guess it turned a lot of people away. I still think it's a fun game, and I would imagine you still think it's fun if you're playing it this much. But I can understand why it's hard for some people casually to get into it, because we've gotten into plenty of lobbies where like some dude just flies by and like stomps us and dips within like 2 seconds of the game starting. But it's fun. It's like a steeper learning curve, but I mean it's kind of like an arena shooter in a sense, and like I was always a big fan of like arena shooters like Quake and stuff. And it's kind of, I mean, it borrows a lot of elements from that, but it does a lot of it well. So I definitely think it's worth checking out if you haven't checked it out already. Yeah.
So Alex, I heard you mention it, GoFundMe, and that made me think of the crowdfunding campaign we're doing. So for the org, we're doing a crowdfunding campaign where on Indiegogo, I created a campaign for the org, saying this is who we are, this is what we're doing, and I'm looking to raise $5,000 for the org, and that would go into one, paying the people who work for me, but also, hiring different people and also creating merchandise for the org, like shirts, mouse pads, jackets, stuff like that, and everything. So that is a thing. So if you guys do want to, contribute to the org, you're not obligated to, but, for those listening, if you do want to.
Are you actually, are you making mouse pads? Is that actually a thing?
Yes, I have concepts already done.
Cause I
and that could be like good mouse pads too. Yeah, they'd be good mouse pads, like the half desk size. They'd be legit.
Half desk.
But yeah, so the campaign is actually getting launched tomorrow. Actually, like officially, we did a pre-launch to test the water to see what's going on. Now we're doing the actual launch. So hopefully, I reach our goal of $5,000, and that'll be legit. Yeah. And then we just keep scaling up from there. If we can raise 5,000, we can raise 10. If we can raise 10, we can raise 50. So that'd be legit, and I think it's a good way to promote the org, get it exposure, but also people do get a tangible product in return, which I think will give people confidence in the business, in the org, and also it'd be something cool for them to have. So then you guys obviously get the free stuff. I wouldn't make you guys pay for anything. I would just give you guys.
You're not supposed to tell the people that. You're supposed to be like, it's supposed to be a secret that we get all the stuff,
Yeah, I mean, Dom's is gonna be interesting because he's an ambassador, so like he gets like I have a lot of cool ideas and designs for like the players and ambassadors and per se. Alex, don't worry, you still get some cool shit. Don't worry, you'll get cool things.
Okay, good.
Oh, if I get a Aryllith merch, bro, I'm gonna be repping that everywhere. People are gonna be like, "Yo, you ever taken that shirt off?"
Yeah, I'm not gonna just trust me. I got some good stuff for you guys in mind. I just need the time and obviously the funding to do it. So that's what I'm working towards. But yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah. Well, on that note, we're approaching the 50-minute mark, so I think this would be a good place to end it. But first, I wanted to ask. So this is a thing I want to do for each of the podcasts. Is I want each of the members to share like some piece of media that they've been indulging themselves in, maybe like a game, a movie, or like some music or something. Just something we find really cool on the internet. So if I can start with Alex. Alex, if you have anything cool you've been listening to, what do you want to rep that you haven't created yourself?
So let me just clarify. This is like any type of media that I've been digging, and I'm just gonna share with the world and share my secret sauce.
It could be like a movie, like a musical artist, an album, a game you've been playing a ton, anything.
I gotta say, I mean, I'm kind of a music guy, not gonna lie. I mean, it's one of those things where you can just, if you sit back and can listen to a good track, that's what I'm all about. So there is a dude that I've been listening to. No, I gotta think about this. Everybody knows September by Earth, Wind and Fire. You know the Do You Remember?
Yeah.
21st night of September. Yeah, I gotta say, you guys gotta check out all of their albums, specifically the album I Am, because I gotta say they are like the perfect band. They make perfect songs, and it's just, I don't know, just something about the entire band clicking together and making really awesome 80s type sounds. It's so perfect. I suggest everyone in the podcast should check out Earth, Wind and Fire.
Nice. Legit.
You can go next, Dorian.
So I'm next. All right. I would just have to say Hyperscape, really, because just a game I've been grinding and like I'm pretty good at, and I just like it. It's very fast paced. It's simple. It's free, and it's small on your computer. It only takes like 10 minutes to download, and I just hope it gains traction. It's different from all the battle royales. It's like you can't hide. Like it's like one of those games that you just can't like sit back and let people do the work for you. Like if you're gonna play this game, you have to go out, be aggressive, go kill people, and like, you know, go win the match and everything. And you can do solos or squads, so it kind of took me away from like it took me away from Rainbow Six Siege. One, because Rainbow Six Siege was tilting me, as Rainbow Six Siege does to people, but also it just I didn't have to rely on anybody else. Like my rank or my skill depended on how well I played, how serious I took my play style, right? So it's just good to be rewarded for that, and it's just a fun game. I like it. So that's my game media I've been indulging in recently.
Yeah.
So
for me, it is this dude I found on SoundCloud named I believe it's Naz. It's either Naz or Naz. It's spelled N-A-Z. And what he does is he takes like rap songs and then remixes them with Nintendo songs. And he does them very well, like to a alarming level where it's like, how is this guy not a professional? But they're really funny and they're really good. I'd recommend checking them out because he makes some legitimately good stuff. But other than that, would you guys be down to plug your socials or anything? Dorian, you can start first on this one. Just tell them where they can find you.
Where do I start? First of all, go to teamreinventedgaming.com. You know, that's where the links to all social media, and then you can read everybody's bio, see what the org is about and everything and all that stuff. But for me, I'm on Instagram at Dorian_Jones 1221, and that's pretty much like my main social media platform, and I post things on there, like pictures, a lot of stuff, so you find me there. Yeah.
Sweet. Alex, you got any socials you'd like to plug? Or
yeah, so if anyone wants to find me, my social security number is like 712.
No.
Oh,
identity theft is not a joke, Alex.
Wait, sorry, social is not like social. Okay, my bad. Yeah, I mean, just
get out of here.
Stop, dude. That's like my specialty. But you know, if anyone's interested in stuff that I do, I suggest you guys again go to teamreinventedgaming.com. I hope I got that right, but you know, you'll find profiles of all the people on the team there, and you'll find me as well. And check people out. Check out this channel, and I'll be around. So
sweet. And you can find any of my stuff at it's Aryllith on every platform. Same as it's spelled. On whatever channel, like I would imagine it'll be in the description. It's all spelled the same. It's on YouTube, SoundCloud, Twitch, Twitter. You know the deal. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh, one more thing. Join us on Discord. We play games all the time, and we're always happy to talk to you guys. I'm on here every single day, and I'll talk to any of you guys and play games to anybody. So yeah, join the Discord.
I can attest. Dorian's like always in the chill lobby, which I guess it's a little weird to see like the CEO just chilling out in the lobby for anyone to join, but he's a man of the people.
I'm always here like thank you. Yeah, so we're here if you guys need us, and we're excited to see you guys at episode 2. We'll find out. I don't know who will have in episode 2. We'll have probably the team manager, but we'll find out. And like always, it'll be some good content. And thank you to Dom and Alex for hosting this podcast. Very grateful for you guys, and I'm glad to be here. So
yeah, no problem. It was fun. All right, we'll see you in episode 2. See ya.